Good morning, film family. How you doing? I'm your host, Jonathan Milton. Today, we're talking about how to make a small budget feature film. How to make a feature film on a small budget. That's today's show. Today's topic. But before we get started, this weekend has been good. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, Saturday, was my birthday. I turned 45 years old. So I'm originally from Houston. Now live in Atlanta, but originally from Houston. And I'm in Houston, and I'm having lunch with my family for my birthday. So it was my twin brother. Yes, I got a twin brother. His name is Justin Milton. He also does film or whatever. And I have my mother and my little sister and my niece, my sister's daughter, my niece. So we're having lunch at a Papados. That's a popular spot for seafood over in Houston. And so uh, hold on. So so we have a lunch over in Houston. We have a lunch, and we're having a good time. You know, a seafood, a great conversation. My family. So it's rare that we meet together as a family all in one. So yesterday, my birthday, I turned 45. Had a great time with my family, and so like after that, I went to the movies. Yes, I seen the latest Insidious movie. It's called Insidious in the Further or Out of the Further or something like that. It was called, and so I had a great time watching Insidious. Had some popcorn, had my little drink, had a great time. Movie was good. After that, come home for a little bit to my mom's house, rest for a little bit, and then I went out to a comedy show, and some drinks and some hookah. You know what I'm saying? So I had a great time at the comedy show last night, drinking some drink, got some Apple Crown Royal and some Coke, and watching a good comedy show. Great atmosphere. So it was cool. I loved that. So yesterday I had a great time. My birthday, comedy show, movies, lunch with the family. You can't ask for anything better than that. So guys, let's go ahead and get started on today's topic: how to make a small budget indie film. Okay, so first thing you got to do is um, write about something that's in one or two locations for a small or no budget. Like for example, I shot my first feature film, The Foreign Exchange Student. I used my mother's house, right? And I rented out a school nearby for $500. That's it. Oh yeah. Also, I used the DP's house, so that was free. My mother's house was free, and the high school that we used was $500. That's it. And I paid my lead actor, the foreign exchange student, a little bit of money, and then I paid the teacher in the movie a little bit of money. So, and that's it. We didn't pay anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Other than the lights and camera guy. So basically, the total budget. Now, I did rent out equipment. It would have been cheaper if I didn't rent out the equipment for my camera guy. But like let's say I didn't rent out the equipment, the budget would have been $5,000 or whatever. A little bit more, a little bit less. Basically, what you need is to write down your budget, write down your props, and write down the salaries for everybody. Write down the food budget for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you know what you're spending and what you can afford, because you don't want to go on set and can't afford to feed your people. You don't want to go on set and you shoot your whole feature film and you don't have any money left to pay your actors, pay your crew members because you didn't set a budget. So basically, while you're writing your feature film, set out a budget and write down everything in like a rock and like while you're writing down, write your story, but keep in mind what you're spending your money on. You know what I'm saying? And so if your budget is 5,000, 10,000, as you're writing your script, make sure that budget fits that story. Or if you're hiring somebody to write your script, make sure that writer knows that you got a $5,000-10,000 budget. So write in the confines of that budget. You don't want no airplanes and no car crashes all in your script, knowing your budget is $5,000, $10,000, right, guys? So okay, so basically, doing okay. So let's rewind. I know all this because I'm a filmmaker. I've been in the game since 2015. I've done 2 short films, and then I started making my feature film. I got over 40 feature films and TV shows and short films. Okay, so basically, if you wanted to if you wanted to watch my short films, it's called Do's and Don'ts of Dating and Snake in the Grass. It's on my Jonathan Milton's channel, not this channel, but it's on my Jonathan Milton channel. But you can just type in Snake in the Grass. You can type in Do's and Don'ts of Dating. Okay, guys. So that's my history. That's my background. Okay. So basically, yeah. So I've had a lot of ups and downs as a filmmaker. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm writing. I don't write all my scripts, but I write most of them. You know, and so when I write my scripts or when I tell people to write my scripts for me, I'll let them know, hey, don't go past a certain budget while writing my film, you know. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's get back to it. You're wanting to do your feature film for a small budget. Okay, so what's your story? What's your story to make you have a small budget? My story, mainly my story happens to be like a crazy girl with a knife, as a foreign exchange student, or the perfect wife. But it's somewhere dealing with a house, or the perfect wife, the house guest. So I'll write a story around something like that to where it's in the house. That's one main location. Now I might write a few locations at the park or at another venue, but the main location is at the house. You know what I'm saying? So what's your story going to be? If your story is about a firefighter, make sure the majority of that script is at the firehouse, and you will have some scenes at the fireman's regular house, or some scenes on location putting out a fire. But you're going to make sure that main location at the firehouse. You know what I'm saying? So what's your story going to be? If your story is about a bodybuilder, make sure that the main locations is at that gym, and make sure whatever location you use is for low pay or even free. My advice would be to write a story, write a script to what you got access from. What do you have access for free or a low pay? I had access to my mother's house, which was free. I had access to a school, which was $500. Boom, right there. There's a story. So That's creative revenue right there. You know, I make sure that I'll spend low and sell for high. You know what I'm saying? That's creative revenue. I'm thinking about what I'm doing before I do it. I'm pre-planning. I'm doing a pre-production. That's called pre-production to my film. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do as a filmmaker. So what's your story going to be? Like I said before, when you write your story, make sure it's a good script. Make sure you have all your actors in a row. Make sure they know when to come to set, when to not come on set, what to wear for certain scenes, how you want the scene to go. You know, so yeah. And 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 for a low budget film, you want to keep your locations to a minimum, like I said before, at a park, at a friend's house, you know, somewhere that's free. You know, you don't want to have a whole bunch of locations, because if you have a whole bunch of locations, when you move, it takes time to pack up, an hour, 2 hours to pack up that equipment and bring to the next set. You don't want to do that. You want to do the bare minimum in a low budget feature film. You want to have maybe one or two locations per day. You really don't want 4 or 5, 6 locations per day, because that eats up a lot of time. If you have a 10-hour, 12-hour set time for the day, you don't want to spend 4 or 5 different locations in one day, because that's going to eat up your time. You know what I'm saying? As a filmmaker. So you want to be smart about it. Have 1, 2, maybe 3 locations at the very most, but try to keep it to 1 or 2 locations per day for your low budget feature film. Okay, guys? And as far as actors, I would do, like, for a normal small scene, I would do 2 or 3 actors, 4 actors most for your project. Now, sometimes you might need a you know, me people need, so sometimes you may need other people to do background work or whatever. So that may be 10 people, 14 people at the most in a scene, but they're not talking. They're just in the scene or whatever. But it's all about planning, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you will want to do 2, 3, 4 actors at most on the day, you know what I'm saying? Or if you have more than 4 people, make sure they don't come all at the same time. So if you have 2 people coming in at 8 o'clock, and you know, one person coming at 10 o'clock, that's good, you know what I'm saying? But don't have all 14 people there at the same time just waiting to do their scenes. No, just tell other people to come later or whatever. But it's all about running a good set, a good sound set. And so you don't want a whole lot of people on set just waiting, because they're going to talk, they're going to get bored, they're going to start doing other stuff, whatever. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep the bare minimum of actors on set at a certain time. Okay, guys? So how do you find your actors? Now, now you can find your actors on Actors Access. That's like, so those are different websites you can find your actors on, or even crew members on. You know what I'm saying? But what I mainly do, I'll go on Facebook, I'll go on Instagram, and like what I'll do is just to ask people to come to my. What I'll do is just go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go on TikTok, and I'll just ask people to come to my auditions. Usually I'll have auditions online, so I would just direct people to go to my email. I'll send them sides for my auditions. Within a few days, they'll send me their audition tape or whatever, a video, and I'll watch their video, and then I'll make notes to see which person goes for which role, if I have a role for them. Now, I might not hire everybody because I can't, right? So if 100 people, because if 100 people come to my website and audition for me, but I only have 10 slots, everybody ain't gonna get a role. But because I don't give you a role on this film, you may be a background. I may ask you to do some production work. I may put you as my lead in my next film. I've had people be a extra in one film. 2 films later, they the lead. You as an extra with no lines. 2 films later, they're the lead actor. So don't be discouraged if you don't get the role. Don't be discouraged if you get a background role. Okay, just be professional, and you may get the next role. Okay. Now, as far as equipment, I don't buy or rent the equipment. I have my DP come with his equipment, so I don't know per se how much it would cost for my DP to shoot to bring a camera on. But they may bring a Sony, they may bring a Black Magic, they may bring a um, the Red camera or something like that. That's what they may do. Okay. So, but I'm not sure about, or like even the, but even the sound guy, he may bring his equipment, but like what I do is make sure they have what they need to do a good production. You know what I'm saying? So I'll hire a sound guy with his own equipment. I'll hire a gaffer, a grip with their own equipment. I'll hire a camera guy with his own equipment. So I'm not sure how much it costs to rent those equipments because I'm hiring people with the experience or non-experience to do the job, whatever. And that varies, and so that varies from experience to experience. Because some people that I might hire to do the camera or the sound may be a little lower, maybe be a little higher, depending on what they're bringing to the table and how much experience they have. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So as far as like feeding the crew, you don't want to have a angry crew and a starving crew because they're hungry. So you need to plan what you're going to do. Are you going to have somebody bring food to set every day? Make sure you like for a 12-hour, 10-hour day set, you at least have to feed them at least twice that day, maybe even 3 times that day. You know what I'm saying? On a 12-hour, 10-hour set, may and then you might want to no, not might, you want to have snacks for them to chew on, to eat on between scenes or whatever, because what you don't want to have is a hungry crew and hungry actors on set, because they're not going to do their job as good as you want them to do. And it's just being professional. Be professional. You don't want to have people on set all day and don't feed them. And what you're going to feed them? You can't have pizza every day. So you might want to have some. So you might want to have somebody cook for your actors, or if not, bring in takeout for your actors to have. I'll do, depending on each film. I have done both. I have been the person who bring in food from an outside source from the half, or I might bring in a chef for somebody that will prepare food for my actors. So I've done both. But what I don't do is not feed them at all. That's what you ain't going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because if you try to do that, you're going to have a upset crew, upset cast, and you're probably going to get the film done. And if it does get done, it won't be the performance that you want. So you want to have everything in order. You want to have your production going right. What you like, you want to have everything in order and going as fluid as possible. Yes, there are hiccups as the film goes, but you want to lower that risk as a filmmaker. Okay, guys. The show is called Creative Revenue. You want to be very creative with your food, with your production as far as the cost. You don't want to spend a lot of money on your first, second, third feature film. But a lot of people a lot of people don't want no big budget. I don't want a big budget on my films. I want to have a nice small budget, but be very creative in my storytelling. Is all about the storytelling. Can you take a great story, but just in a low budget? Low budget does not mean it's a bad movie. You might not have a whole bunch of cranes and a whole bunch of actors in the background and whatever, but you can tell a great story by having a small cast. For example, if you watch my movie Behind Closed Doors, prime example, just watch that movie. It's not a lot of background people. It's not a lot of different area shots, and you don't need all that gimmick if you have a good story or a great story. Okay, guys, it's all about the story. Okay. Like also, for example, does everybody has transportation to and from your set? Sometimes I might fly somebody in for my movie. I'll make sure someone's there or I'm there to pick them up. I'll make sure someone's there to take them to their hotel. I'll make sure someone's there to take them from hotel to set each and every day if that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? But you may want to just have everybody come and set on their own. So let's say you're not hiring somebody from across the city or state lines or whatever. If you hire local talent, you better make sure they have transportation to and from your set that they have, not you providing it for them, because you got everything else going on for your production. The last thing you want or need is trying to pay people or pay your time to take people to and from set when you don't have the time nor the money. So you may want to make sure your actors, your crew members have transportation. Now, in the past, when I first started out, some crew members, some actors didn't have a ride to and from set, and I would have to pay money or pick them up. But that's what I learned in the past. So I know now not to do that. I know now to hire actors, hire crew members who have transportation for my film, because the last thing I need to do is shell out money, shell out time for my cast and crew members to come to and from set. This is a small budget movie, right? Okay, guys. Now, you want to have permits for your feature film. I don't always do that, but because I do a lot of running, gunning around the city. But if you wanted to go to Netflix or some big, or like Hulu or something like that, you might want to get a permit. You know what I'm saying? I've had to cut out scenes in my movie, like for example, on like the movie Bissonnette. I had to cut out scenes because I didn't have permits for that particular location. I just like running and gunning, and so I had to cut out a few scenes because of that. So not having permits does not always that isn't a good thing. You know what I'm saying? To always do that. So to be safe, to be professional, you want to have permits for your feature film. Do it right. If you want to eat at a restaurant and shoot a film in there, ask the manager, ask the owner. 9 times out of 10, they don't mind you shooting in the restaurant. I've shot at restaurants. I've shot at different things, and I've asked. Yes, I have pay the owner a few dollars to shoot in there, but it wasn't much. But so and even on Bissonnette, the main lot that we use for Bissonnette, I had a permit. Like I talked to the owners. We were we wrote out an agreement. I paid them some money, and so like Bissonnette one, the main lot, it was shot and paid for, and we had a contract for that lot. I went out and talked to them, got it done, paid them a little bit of money, so you want to do things professionally because that will save you time. Doing things right, doing things professionally will save you time and money. Trust me. Okay, guys? And there's always hidden expenses in your feature film. You don't know where it's going to go. You may need an extra prop. You may need some extra money for some lighting equipment. You might need some extra money for a permit. Like, you never know. So if your budget is 10,000, you may want to have a couple extra thousand just in case something goes wrong. Something always goes wrong on set. It's hardly ever just perfect. It's hardly ever perfect. So I always have a few dollars extra off your budget for that just in case money. Okay, guys? All right. Editing, music, artwork, delivery, all that is important for your movie and for your distributor. As far as editing, usually the editor is the same person who shoots the film. That's my experience. Usually, like as an indie filmmaker, usually the editor and the shooter is the same person. But like, and so it's an easier edit for the shooter because they know what they're doing and they're the one who shot the movie. But let's say your editor isn't the person who shot the movie. You want to have all your notes, all your ducks in a row for that editor. What shots, what angles, what takes is the best. So when you put it, so you put all those into some notes and give it to your editor who wasn't the shooter. The editor know what they're doing. They know what takes, what are best takes, and the notes because of the director shooter is giving the editor. Okay, guys, you want to make those notes, that process for the editor as smooth as possible. You don't want the finished product to be a bad movie because you didn't give your editor notes on what's the best takes, what's the best angles that you want. You know what I'm saying? Because if the editor has to process that, it's going to be longer edit time. So if the editor have to go through all your scenes, all your takes, all your angles, you're going to have one frustrated editor, and the edit to that movie going to take a long time to do. You don't want that. You want to bring, like, even if the shooter and editor is the same person, you want to have notes for that editor, even though the editor is a shooter, because it's gonna have an easier, faster edit for your editor. You know what I'm saying? And you will have a better polished product, a film, short film, feature film, a commercial, if you take notes to give to your editor. It's all about pre-production so you can have the best post-production. Okay, guys? If you slack on the pre-production, you slack on the production, you're going to have hell on your hands during the post-production. Okay, guys? So don't do any short corners when it comes to production. Make sure everything goes right in your power. Okay, guys? All right. As far as music, you may want to hire. Okay, so some distributors want you to have original music because they don't want to deal with the copyright issue. So some distributors want you to go and get independent independent music people, like, you know, singers, rappers, to do an independent song for your film. Have them sign a contract for it, saying that you can use their product for said movie, but you got it on paper. You may pay them a little bit of money, you may not, but you have it on paper as far as them permitting you to use their product in your movie. You know, you may not want to go the music right that's free for like royalties for whatever reason. But if you do that, there are several royalty free websites you can use. You can just you have to look them up though. But there are several royalty free websites that will allow you to use their songs from their website on your movie. You got to find them though, but they're there. Or you can just find artists, music artists that would do your movie, and you know, for free or low budget, so music shouldn't be an issue. But let's say you want to have a composer for certain scenes. You know, is a scary scene, is a tense scene, is a comedic scene, and you want to have a composer. Well, you can hire a composer also. Okay, so that could be part of your budget, is to hire music artists for your film. So hire a composer, and then you can hire music artists also to be in your movie, so you have a better product. I on the Foreign Exchange Student, on The Perfect Wife, and several other films, I've had artists and a composer both on in my movie, and it was a better production because of it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just have like, you don't like, if you have a small budget, I would choose a composer over everything. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have money to hire a independent music artist, just hire a composer. You don't need an original song, but you do need a nice, decent flow of music throughout your movie. And so, if you can't hire a independent artist, I would just hire a composer for my feature film. You know what I'm saying? You cannot go wrong with just hiring a composer. Okay, that's a safe bet right there. You got to go out and find it. You got to go find it. You know what I'm saying? So, as an independent artist, as an independent filmmaker, is on you. So a lot of the groundwork will be on you, you know, or you can hire somebody for that task, but that's more money. So if you don't have the money, you got to do it yourself, right? So either you have the money or the time. If you don't have the money, you have the time. If you have the money, which is good because you might not have the time. So which one do you have, the money or the time? Right, guys? Okay, let's move forward. So delivering the finished product. Okay, so you shot your movie, you edit the movie, but oh wait, you didn't have everybody sign the contract. Your distributor might not accept your movie if you don't have everybody sign that contract. Okay, guys. Running your business professionally as an independent filmmaker is making sure your cast and your crew sign the contracts. You pay them. Okay. So you have permits for your locations, you have your scripts in the Library of Congress or whatever, for your script or whatever. they're going to give you a list of things to do as a distributor to have when you're turning in your film to them. You better make sure you have everything. If you do go with a distributor, have them send over what they need. So when you make the movie, you already know what you have to have a smoother process after you do your movie. You don't want to do your movie and you don't have all the paperwork, because you may not be able to see a movie out to different places if your movie ain't properly done. The worst thing you can do is make a whole movie, pay everybody, but can't show it nowhere because you don't have the proper paperwork, because you didn't do your due diligence at first. You don't want to do that. So do your due diligence so you can have a successful product on Tubi, on Amazon, on other different platforms. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And some of the common mistakes that filmmakers have is not being prepared. Not being prepared with the budget, with the production, because they didn't do their homework and the pre-production. So so if you have people wearing a certain wardrobe in this scene, and a few scenes later, the same wardrobe in another scene, it's called continuity. Sometimes actors that's professional and independent, that's just starting, don't always do that right, because I've seen it on both locations, both sides or whatever. So what you want to do is have people who looking at continuity as far as the wardrobe, as far as also if you yell cut and the person's hand is on their head, the next angle shouldn't be on the table. It should be still on their head. So it's all about continuity, right? So that's some of the mistakes people make is continuity. But somebody has to be in charge of that. If the director is directing, who's in charge of continuity of that and the clothes? Because some actors may need to wear different, so you might have to form a team, a little small team, as far as clothes, as far as props. Who's in charge of props? Who's in charge of clothes? Who's in charge of getting the actors together? Assistant director. So you may need 4 or 5 people, 6 people on set. You may need, so you need you're gonna need a director, assistant director, a props person, a food person, a continuity person. Who's gonna do slate? Those are some things you have to consider and know in pre-production, so it can go right. People know their job. If people know their job, it's going to go smooth. Also, sometimes on set, people will go out of their boundaries. For example, you may have actors or crew member yell out to the actors, "Hey, do the scene this way, do the scene that way." That's not good. That's the director's job. So, guys, if you are some people who are trying to direct a movie, you're probably not doing it because you're trying to be hateful or spiteful, but to help. That's fine, but that isn't your place. So let the director direct. If you have any suggestions for a certain role or a certain scene, tell the director before you start shooting. Don't wait to get on set and try to direct the actors or whatever, because that's not your job. That's not okay. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people get fired for that, get yelled at for that, because that's not their job. Focus on your job. If you a props person, be the best props person. If you the continuity person slash the clapper person or whatever, do that job to the best of your ability. who's running lines. So who's a script supervisor? Who's your script supervisor? Who's your script supervisor? Who's your AD? You know who. So make sure you get everything in place. Okay, guys. So you need to hire 5 or 6 people on your team to make sure everything goes right. Make sure it's in your budget. You know, and if it's not in your budget, you or someone else might have to do a bigger role in production, as far as having 2 or 3, 4 different roles, tasks for your position, which could be very, time consuming, but if you don't have the money to hire people for those positions, you're gonna have to do it to yourself, right, guys? So the question is, can you really make a feature film for under $10,000? Yes, you can. I've made a lot of films for under $10. The Behind Closed Doors, that was for under $10,000. Behind Closed Doors too was under $10,000. I believe, but yeah, so you can make a movie for under 10, under 15, under 5 if you plan it right. If you want a movie under 5, 10, $15, small cast, 1, 2, 3 locations, small crew, small cast, 1, 2, 3 locations, and you can have a movie under 5, 10, $15,000. You might want to have a cast of 2 people, a cast of 3 people. I've seen it done. A cast of 5 people in one location. You can't have some exquisite, lunch or dinner for them, but you can feed them certain things, or even cook for them or whatever, and save a little bit of money, and have food on set for them, have little snacks for them. So you can have a small budget film. Hire people for the low or for free to do your feature film. So you can do it. You can do it. Okay, guys? It can be done. I've done it several times. It can be done. I've made over 40 feature films, over 40 feature short films, TV shows. Balling on a budget can be done. You got to think, be smart, and know what you're doing. Okay, guys? How many days should an independent movie take to film? I don't want to film no more than 7, 8 days, max 10 days. But for me, 7, 8 days max. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to film more than that, because the more days you film, the more money it's going to be, because you're primarily paying your crew members by the day. Some of your actors may be by the day. You have to pay people for their food by the day. You can't feed them one day, but don't feed them on the 8th day. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay your actors, pay your actors probably daily, pay your crew members daily, pay the food daily. Going to different locations, that's daily, as far as like permits and daily rates. So the more days you do, the more money it's going to be. So if I were you, I would shorten it 3, 4, 5, 6 days. You don't want to do no 20, 30, 50-day shoot as an independent filmmaker. You're going to not waste, but you're going to use a lot of money. So if you want to make a movie for $10,000, $15,000, $5,000, you can do it, but you got to do it right. You can have, like, for example, guys, if I wanted to make a $5,000 feature film, you know what I do? Hire 2, 3, 4 actors, 1, 2 locations, 1, 2, 3 crew members, probably 2 crew members, probably 1 crew member. I might have the shooter be the editor. Me as a director, like I'll be the director, I'll be the AD, I'll have the shooter be the shooter, editor, and gaffer and grip. So I've done it. I've done it on sets as far as it be having just 2, 3 people on set. As far as PA, like sometimes it be me and the camera guy as the PA and doing everything. He's the sound guy. He's the shooter. He's also PA. I'm the PA. So it all depends on your budget, and if you're going to do that, you might want to just stick to 1, 2, 3 locations, and that's it. But in a perfect world, I'll have my own sound guy, my own gaffer and grip, my own shooter / editor. So in the perfect world, I'll have me as the director, the gaffer, grip, shooter, editor, production assistant director. I have the actors do their own makeup and hair. Yes, I have hired people to do it in the past, but now I just hire people. So, like as an independent filmmaker, I have people come to set, makeup and hair ready for them. You know what I'm saying? Like art ready. Gotta save costs to have a $5, $10, $15 film. You can't always have the you can't always have the bells and whistles as a producer. I mean, you want to, but you don't always have it as producer / director, right? Should actors and crew work for free? I worked for free as a PA when I first started. So yes, I don't see no problem as if you want to be in the film game as an actor. What I would do is offer your services for free at first. So the director and producer can trust you and see how you flow. So you may be working for free as a background or as a actor as far as talking roles for free at first. But then the next movie or two, you might get a paid role now because they trust you. They have the budget. They know what you can do. They know that you work for free and that you're hungry and that you are dedicated to your craft. So they won't have no problem paying you on a second or third movie. Okay, guys. So I feel that it's no issue, no problem working for free when you first start off. My first film or two, I worked free as a production assistant to learn how to do things or whatever. And they pay me in food or whatever, and like credit. And that's fine by me. That was over 11, 12 years ago. Now I've done 40 feature films, TV shows, short films on my own after that. I learned what I had to learn by doing free stuff. And now I'm the boss. I'm independent. I'm doing whatever I gotta do. I know what I'm doing. So as an actor, as a crew member, I think it's okay to do something free on your first or second time, and then after that start charging money. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to respect, like they have to respect the craft, and you want them to make so, and you have to make them respect your craft or whatever. So yes, first film or two, free. After that, ask them for a little bit of money, whatever. If they know you, if they trust you, they will have no problem giving it to you. Okay, guys. How do you get an independent movie onto Tubi? Okay, guys, you can give your movie to a distributor. You can give your movie to a distributor, and they will and they would put it on Tubi and other platforms. Or you can give it to an aggregator, and they'll put your movie on different platforms and also Tubi. So one or two ways, but you have to know somebody. Like Tubi isn't going to accept your movie just by you trying to call them and email them and send. No, that ain't how it works. You're going to either have to find a distributor or find an aggregator to give them your movie to put on the Tubi. As a filmmaker, you cannot do it yourself. As a filmmaker, you cannot put your movie on Tubi yourself. You have to find a distributor or an aggregator. Okay, guys? Sorry, but that's how it works. Should first-time filmmakers make a short film or feature film? Guys, I think you should start with a short film first. It's all about, hey, do you want to run a mile without doing shorts first, as far as doing wind sprints or short dispersion? No, you want to walk before you run, right? So I wouldn't do a feature film first. I would do a short film first. When I first started off in the game in 2015, I did 2 short films, Snake in the Grass and Do's and Don'ts of Dating. I learned a lot on those short films. And then I started doing feature films. Could you start doing feature films without a short film? Sure, you could, but a lot may go wrong on the first couple of films. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a lot more money having to learn on that feature film. More mistakes, more risk, because now it's a feature film. You got all these people on set for your feature film, and you never done a filming for. I wouldn't do that. I would do 2 short films or more, 1 short film, 2 short films, and then try to do your feature film. In my opinion, I don't want to just start sprinting and doing feature films before you even did a film. Nah, I wouldn't do that. You could do it, but I wouldn't do that. So short film, definitely. Okay. What is the biggest waste of money on a film set? The biggest waste of money on a film set is time. It's time. You think that, time is money, and money is time. So you don't want to be walking around talking, having a good time, and nothing's being done. So it's very important to have a strong AD, assistant director, to get things done. Boom, 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 boom. Because the biggest waste of money is time. You know what I'm saying? So you talking, playing on set. So instead of it being a 9-hour day, it's 11, 12-hour day, because y'all talking and kikiing all day, trying to be friendly with everybody. No, this is a business. So people may think you mean, but no, just being professional. You know what I'm saying? So as a director, as assistant director, you don't have time to be kikiing with everybody. No, get things done, and afterwards you can talk to people, whoever. But a lot of waste of time, I believe, is not being prepared. Not being prepared. So, for example, if an actor is late, you can do another scene until the other actor come. Okay, but so the actors will need to have their lines memorized or whatever, or actors who can remember fast if you choose to change different scenes because said person isn't here. Okay, so like I remember on a few of my films, a lead actor wasn't there yet, and we had to say, okay, what can we shoot in other scenes until said person come to set. And so that's just being prepared and focused as a filmmaker, as a director, to know what's going on, what you can shoot in in said scene, move around or whatever. So you have to be flexible, and your mind is churning. Be just in case things will go right. Remember earlier I told you everything won't go right all the time. People might People might have a flat tire. People might have this or that going on. You have to be prepared. Somebody might quit on you. I've had a lead actor or two just all of a sudden don't show up to set. Don't show up to set. Quit. Don't show up to set. I have to think fast to shoot other scenes to get that actor replaced immediately. Guys, you know what I'm saying? It's always ups and downs as a filmmaker, as a director, but it's more ups and downs, and you have to be on your toes. You have to be prepared because, like I said, everything won't go right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, be prepared. Waste of time. Oh, also, yeah, like not having food on set. Now you gotta wait. Now the actor is hungry. Not enough food on set. Now you gotta go and get food for the actors for lunch, for a dinner, and they're not gonna do any more scenes because you didn't really feed them snacks on set. There's no water. There's no Gatorade, so you have to waste time getting or you don't have the right props. Let's say there's a food prop. You got to stop filming, go and get the food because you didn't prepare, and come back. Or this prop is a gun prop or a knife prop or a bat prop, and you don't have it. Now you got to go and stop production, go get the prop because you didn't do it or account for it in pre-production. Now you smack dead in production, and you gotta stop the production to go get the say a prop. I've done it before, so there's a lot of mistakes I've done that I'm telling you guys. You know what I'm saying? Being prepared is probably the number one thing that will save you money. Let me say that again. Being prepared is probably the number one thing from saving you money and having actors come back to work with your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not prepared, actors, crew members do not want to work with you. Be prepared, be professional, feed them. They will come. They will come back. Okay, guys. You don't want to not be prepared. Okay. So guys, I'm your host, Jonathan Milton. It was fun today. You know, I had a great time. This show is my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like I love doing what I'm doing, creative revenue, talking business, talking filmmaking. You know, even though you love what you do, the goal is to make money as you do. So I make money doing this, and then so I make a movie, put it on Tubi, put it on Amazon, put it on other platforms, and I get to work with other talented people, and we have a premiere for it. Everybody come out, have a great time. I'm proud, the actors proud, the crew members proud, and everybody gets to see my feature film, and the actors get to showcase their work, you know. So and I love when the actors, when the crew members, when the photographers love being in my production. For example, the Bissonnette. behind closed doors in other said films, they were proud to promote the movie because they liked the product. They liked the movie. They were proud of the movie. And we had a great time at the red carpet. Everybody's sharing the movie. Everybody's telling their family members to come out and, promote the movie. A weekend getaway, movie that I done. It was sold out. Everybody was happy to be there. Family, friends, fans came out to see these films, and they loved it. So, as a filmmaker, to see everybody having a good time at the red carpet, having fans tell me in the comments that they enjoyed my movie, is a blessing. So I love what I do. If you have any other questions, hit me up in my website, thedealbreakerstudios.com, for consultation. If you have more questions, I can go in depth with you and help you guys out. Thedealbreakerstudios.com for a consultation. Also, check out my new movie, Secret Lover, also on the same website, thedealbreakerstudios.com. So for the movie consultation, hit me up, okay, guys. Also, you can catch me, Facebook, Instagram, Dealbreaker Studios, okay, or my name, Josh Milton, or you can hit up Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Creative Revenue. Well, not TikTok. TikTok is Dealbreaker Studios, but Instagram, Creative Revenue. Facebook, Creative Revenue. Okay, guys. Please like, share, comment. I need you. You know what I'm saying? Check me out every Sunday, 10 o'clock Central Time. Also, guys, I have a weekly show on Wednesdays where I bring in a guest, a entrepreneur every Wednesday. Boxers, trainers, film producers, actors, like lawyers, business owners, entrepreneurs. So every Wednesday I have a different entrepreneur on my show. On Sundays, it's primarily just me, talking about business and filmmaking. Okay, guys. So catch me next Sunday, same time, 10 a.m. Central Time. Okay, guys. Until next time, share, like, subscribe, comment. Okay, guys. Peace.